every single minute in Iraq, almost 60 seconds go by. Yeah. And every 3 million seconds, that's about a month. And every 3 billion seconds is a lifetime. So use those seconds wisely. And with your fullest potential, I'm going to teach you how to use those seconds wisely. And why am I qualified to tell you about this? Well, in the past 3 years, I've done so much with what I've learned from all of these books and all of these talks that I've watched on YouTube. I've condensed, I've compiled everything together, and I've created this like spreadsheet that just has all this great information on it. And I've created these audio files and all sorts of really cool tools that help me tremendously. And there are certain people in my life who I'd like to share this with, and also why not share it with the world? So this is my way of contributing back. Let's make sure that's good. It's my way of contributing back to the world, because I've gotten so much from all these people, and I'd like to share it. I'd like to just help other people out with this. So as for the things that I've done and where I am now, yeah, I went from working paycheck to paycheck, making not much. I couldn't even afford a cell phone. I had about $100 budget for food every month, and it was rough. It was kind of a tough time, but I did whatever I could, and I saved up the money because I knew where I wanted to be. And I saved up for a condo, and I got some roommates to help chip in with that, and then one thing led to another. I ended up doing Airbnb and created this whole Airbnb business. Now I'm running 4 houses and doing a bunch of vacation rentals around the Orlando area, and I've got 11 cars that I rent out on Turo, and 5 of them are Teslas. So yeah, things have turned out okay. Things have come out well for me, and it's really thanks to these amazing people who have come into my life through YouTube. And I've learned anytime I get stuck anywhere, I just watch something and get inspired, and go forward with what I'm doing. So I like to share my path with you, and hopefully you'll gain something from this. And yeah, so what I'd like to recommend is that you follow these 12 steps that I've kind of outlined for this your fullest potential thing. I've gotten a lot of these ideas from some of my Airbnb guests who have kept in contact with me over the years, and we've been keeping each other accountable. So we've been accountability partners and helping each other continually move forward. And we do that online. We do that through this spreadsheet that we've all kind of done something to add to it, and now it's got about 8 different pages that really help. And anytime I'm confused and unsure about a situation, I'll go back to that, look at my goals and priorities and Dreamlines and all that stuff, and I'll figure it out and get some clarity. So I'd like to share that clarity with you. And like I said, 12 steps. The first thing, you're going to figure out your why. If you already have your why, that's great. If you don't, why not? Get your why. Second step is going to be setting your priorities in order, knowing what is most important to you and what isn't. Third thing we're going to do is look at the 10-year from now self, your 10-year from now self. So imagine it's 10 years from now, you're looking back, you see who you are, if everything that could go right went right. So best case scenario, you're looking back, and who are you? What do you do? So we're going to get into that. The fourth thing is going to be getting clear about who your mentors are, who matters most to you, who are the people that you just really are inspired by, and you don't have to know them personally. I don't know too many of my mentors personally. I've been lucky enough to meet some of them, and that's been cool, but yeah, I started out not really knowing any of them. Of course, I've got, my family and stuff that I look up to, but I'm talking about these people who have changed the world or have done the thing that you've been set out to do for your whole life. So follow these people. I'll get more into all this stuff later on. I'm just going to do a quick breeze over right now. So the fifth thing is getting clear about your goals and dreamlines and your vision board. So yes, doing a vision board is crazy important, and I'm going to go over how I did mine and how you could do yours. And a lot of people think differently, so there's going to be a lot of tips and tricks for that. The sixth thing to do is to just get rid of those things that are bringing negativity to your life. and replacing them with things that bring positivity to your life. And number 7 is rituals, morning rituals, nightly rituals, getting clear about how to start and end cap your day. So what goes on in the middle is largely determined by how you start and how you end your day. So once you get those rituals set, that's going to help you so much. The 8th thing we're going to talk about is the 80-20 principle. Starts with a P. I don't know his name. I never met the dude, but some guy came up with this principle, and basically 20% of the producers cause 80% of the product, and 20% of the problem generators cause 80% of the problem. So we're going to talk about that and identify those things that are causing problems in your life. And then number 9 is, what is number 9? It is a really important one that talks about, replacing distress with eustress. So the things that bring you negative stress, replacing that with things that bring you positive stress. And then number 10 is, forgot what number 10 is. I think I have it on my phone, so I'm gonna just quickly take a little look right here and then get clear about number 6 too, because I was just kind of BSing that one here. I thought I had it all in my head. Okay, yeah, number 6 is replacing unhealthy habits with healthy ones. That's huge. That's great. Number 10 is replacing negative people with positive people. Number 11 is delegating. That's changed my world. A year ago, I could have done this 3 years ago. I could have done this 2 years ago, definitely. But a year ago is when I really got serious about delegating, and wow, it just opens up everything for you. And then the last thing we're going to talk about, number 12, is passive wealth generation. And that's a fun one because that allows you to do you and not have to worry about constantly chasing that dollar and trading time for money. So that's what we're going to talk about right here, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video. I'm just going to keep on recording here with the first step, which is finding your why. And actually, I already did make a video about this. So first thing is finding your why. You don't have to have one why. A lot of people, they're like, I need that one reason for being, that one purpose in life, that one just driving force. But you don't have to have just one. You should pick one and go with it, knowing that life changes. You know, you gotta go with flow, and it's probably not going to be your thing for the rest of your life. If it is, hey, that's great too, but just get something to focus on. You need to have that focus. So finding your why, and it could be something that you're just really great at, that other people are always commenting on, like, oh my gosh, you're such a great artist, this is amazing, why don't you paint for a living, why don't you try that out? And it doesn't have to be an immediate, like, drop everything else and go for this one thing. You just need to discover what makes you happy, what makes others happy, and it would be nice if some money could be made so that you could live off of that. Yeah, what is your reason for existing? What could you talk about for hours and hours and not get bored? What are you just most passionate about? What drives you? What do you wake up first thing in the morning? This is what you want to do. That's your why. And once you find that, then great. So for me, I went through a lot of action to find my why. I did not know what I wanted to do, but I had some free time. I was working night shift in the Air Force, and I had a lot of free time, and I just wanted to do something with that and figure out what it is that I loved. So I would try out mixed martial arts. Definitely not for me. I tried out speed reading. Not so much my thing. I tried out art, painting, guitar, piano. I tried out bodybuilding. None of that was for me at all. And then I accidentally got into magic. I read a book on memory. Yeah, I got into memory, and then I read this whole book, and it was amazing, and I did enjoy memory. I had a great time with that, but I didn't see how that could be like my thing. But at the end of the book, he passed away today. Simon Aronson. Okay, so it was How to Develop a Superpower Memory by Harry Lorraine. And Simon Aronson was the guy who worked with him to create this deck of cards that you can do some amazing things with. And yeah, really cool guy. and I never got to meet him in person, and I was really hoping to do that. But yeah, he did a lot for the Magic community, and it was really cool. So that's kind of what got me into Magic, and then from that point on, I knew that's what I wanted. That's what I want to do. I woke up every day and I was just focused on Magic. I was like, this is cool. What can I learn? How can I make people happy? Because it gave me a way to make people happy. That's what it was. I would do a trick, and then people were like, wow, this is incredible. Oh my goodness. And thank you so much for sharing. So it just made me feel so great, because I was giving something and without expecting anything in return, and that was the best gift that they could give me, just like that appreciation. So it felt so great, and spreading smiles per hour, that's what Robert and I are doing here at the Magic Mansion, and everywhere we go we spread as many smiles per hour as we can, smiles per hour as we can, and yeah, it's pretty cool. But that's, I guess, where it all started, where I saw that immediate, like, wow, this is it, this is the thing. And I learned a few tricks. I would do it for TSA, because I was the guy at the airport making announcements saying, all passengers desiring to see a magic show, proceed to gate 4 at this time. And they'd come over and I'd show them a magic show, and it was a good time. But so that's when I found my why, and I went with it. I just went as hard as I could. Every single day I would grow and develop that. So having that why helped me like figure out a path. It doesn't have to be your path. You can't have that hindsight. Hindsight is 20/20, so you can see what got you to where you are, but you can't really see how you're going to get. You can know a destination, you can have a destination in mind, but that whole path to get there, it's tough. It's tough to get it all planned out ahead of time. So I had some sort of destination, and because of that, I was moving forward. I was going, I was grinding, and it was really cool. And I still am, but my destinations have changed, and I see little stepping stones along the way. I see milestones. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah, I see milestones that I'm hoping to achieve, and that I have achieved, so I can kind of see my path. But again, it is a winding path, and you're never going to have a linear way. Like Steve Jobs with his calligraphy class that kind of helped him develop Apple. It's not going to be something that makes total sense or has everything to do with that thing you're trying to do. But keep on doing things. Taking massive action, like Tony Robbins says. Taking massive action, that is the #1 way to achieve success. So getting up, standing up, doing, just going and talking to people, figuring out the people you need in your life. That is good for that. Okay, so that was the #1 thing, is establish your why. So for your homework assignment, no, I'm not going to call it that. For your action step, taking action, we were just talking about that. So taking massive action, that's what you need to do right now. So how about this? How about you write down your why and explain why it's your why? That sounds fun. So write down what it is that is your reason for being, and write as much as you can about why that is your why. And then write underneath that all the pain that you would feel if you don't accomplish that. And then underneath that, end it with a positive note. Write down all the joy and what it'll bring into your life once you do accomplish that. So have fun with that, and I'll see you in the next video. Into step #2, which is getting your priorities in order, and keeps dropping down. So here, we'll recenter this. I feel like going for a walk, so let's go for a walk here. Getting your priorities in order. So this is so important, because you need to know what matters for you, and you need to know how you're going to get about creating the path that you're looking for. So for me, my first priority is family, because they're always there for me. Hi there. And getting that clear, that means when you come up with a decision, like, okay, shoot, I have to decide on something that affects my career or my family. Yeah, it's not always going to be your family, but if you know that that's #1, then if it's a toss-up, then you're going to more easily make that choice and stick with it. And yeah, you should weigh the pros and cons with every decision, and of course, sometimes you're going to have 2 decisions that are both great for your future. So if you if you step back and look at your future self and how that's going to be, if you say yes to something, and then saying yes to something often means saying no to something else, and that's okay. That's how this life works. You're going to have to just weigh the pros and the cons and make that decision, and trust your gut. Your gut really, if you've lived and if you've made decisions, you have a gut that can help you with this stuff. So trust it. That's what it's there for. Don't ever just get so flustered where you're paralyzed and you're unable to make any real decisions. You need to trust your gut and go for it, and you'll be good with that. I recommend looking up a lot of priorities and writing down the ones that matter to you. So find those 5 or so priorities and just get those down on paper or Google Drive or whatever you use, and write down next to it why they are your priorities, all the reasons why, and then that'll just give you that clarity that you need. So yeah, when something comes up, you're gonna be like, okay, this is the reason why, and go for it, and not feel bad about it later on, because we've all made decisions that we're like, oh wow, if only I had done this, then this would have happened, and my life would be 10 times better. That's okay. You're gonna make mistakes, but getting clear about things ahead of time, this is like preparing you a lot for developing that muscle, that decision-making muscle. So work out that muscle and keep on going with that. And the number, I just might make this one giant video. The number 3 thing is looking back at your 10-year future self. 10 year from now, future self. So it's 10 years from this day, and you're obviously 10 years older, and look at yourself in the mirror. Imagine you can see yourself clearly. You can see everything that's going on in your life, all your current goals, priorities, dreams, ambitions. What does that look like? What does your hair look like? What does your teeth look like? Are you standing up straight? Get clear about the people in your life. Who do you have around you? Are you close with your family? Do you have new friends? Who are these new friends? Maybe they're people that you right now thought there's no way you could have them as part of your life. But hey, it's 10 years from now. Anything is possible. It's the perfect, ideal situation. So everything in those 10 years that possibly could have gone right has gone right. So who's around you? Who's your tribe? Who's the people that are pushing you forward? Who have you invited in there? And what do you have? What are you driving? What kind of house do you live in? What do you do for fun? Do you have a lot of free time to explore and travel? Or do you stay at home? Are you raising kids? Like, think about just the most ideal situation and just get as super clear about that as you can. So that's the number 3 thing, is identifying your 10 year from now future self and seeing what that looks like, and just writing it all down. So spend an hour at least just going through, writing down about 2-3 pages about your 10 year from now future self. And if you want to, you could make it shorter. 1 year from now future self, see what that looks like. 1 month from now future self. We're kind of going to get into that pretty soon here with the milestones, streamlining, and everything else, but it's good to just start thinking about that right now. So the 4th thing is getting clear about your mentors. So who are these people that you don't have to appreciate everything about them? They're going to have some negative qualities. That's okay. But focus on those positive qualities, and who are the people that you would like to become most like. So for me, I've got quite a lot of mentors. I've got Elon Musk way up there. He's awesome. He's doing so much for the world. It's incredible. Steve Jobs has already done so much. He's not with us anymore, but he's changed how, we have a computer that fits in our freaking pocket now. It's ridiculous. It's really cool. And it's because of people like that. So Steve Jobs, Tony Robbins, because he's able to inspire and help so many thousands and thousands of people every single day. It's ridiculous. And Dean Graciosi, got people like Darren Hardy, I've got some magicians like David Copperfield. He's done so much for the world of magic, and I'm kind of walking myself into I don't know where I am right now. I think I'm gonna start walking this direction. Anyways, we got lost. Yeah, so Michael Carbonaro, yeah, the stuff he's done on True TV with the Carbonaro effect, it's incredible. It's so cool. Justin Willman with his Magic for Humans stuff. The things that are being done in the magic community are just so inspiring, and yeah, they are a lot of my mentors right now, because I'd like to create something like that. But yeah, it's just getting clear about who are these people and identifying their faults too. So I would love to be a blend of Elon Musk and Tony Robbins and Jim Carrey. That would be awesome to me. That would be like a cool thing. But there are faults with, like, Elon Musk sometimes doesn't think things through. He'll just start talking and stuff, and I do this too. I'd like to have better control of my how I present things. Like, so we got some similarities there right now. So yeah, he's a cool guy. There's just so many cool people in this world, and you could really just identify what it is that you want to be like about these people and do what it takes to start becoming more like them. Figure out what their rituals are. That's something huge that changed me. We're going to get into that very soon. But yeah, figuring out what they do every day, what books they read, who they look up to. There's an incredible amount, just a wealth of knowledge when it comes to looking at how they behave, how they act. And if they've done a biography or something, read their biography. So yep, that is number 4, mentors. Number 5 is milestones, goals, dreamlining, and vision boarding. So this is, in my opinion, the one thing that shaped me here, who I am right now. Doing a vision board changed everything, but because it manifested it into reality. Really, it was just an idea. It was all these things that it's like, oh, that would be cool if I had a Tesla. That would be really cool. So I drew a Tesla. I used Photoshop. Here, we're gonna get there we go, some shade. So yeah, I used Photoshop, and I just went on Google Images and found all these images for different things, like, yeah, the car that I wanted to drive, the house that I wanted to have, the girl that I wanted to be with. There's incredible amount of stuff that I put on there, and almost all of it happened. Like, everything on there, except for the family. I had, a wife and kids and stuff on there and everything. That didn't happen. But the so the car, I put one Tesla Model 3 on there, and then I just went ahead and paid that $2,500 deposit on it. I was like, all right, this will be the first step. It's fully refundable. I could have gotten it all back. I was like, yeah, I've got just over that in the bank, so let's just put that deposit on there, knowing that I could just pull it back anytime I wanted to. And then in the meantime, in those 18 months, I started getting serious about renting cars on Turo, and then I was making enough money where it's like, oh, might as well see how a Tesla does on Turo. So I rented one on Turo as a guest. It was an amazing experience, and then I kept going from there. So yeah, that was my vision board. It had the car, and it had a lot of other things. Like, I wanted to learn about music and language, and I did learn some of that stuff. There's still some things that I need to do, like become scuba dive certified and do an Ironman triathlon, and there's a few other things that I haven't quite done yet. But having that visual that you're looking at every day, put it in a place where you're able to see it every day, and that'll help you tremendously. And also, yeah, along this line, vision boards are great, but having a dream line, writing out, we were talking about it just a second ago, writing out that 1 month dream line, assuming there's no limitations whatsoever. So whenever you dream line, it needs to be ridiculous out there, no limitations, just you can do anything you want, you can have whatever you want. And I'm gonna share that with you guys as far as I think I'm off the path again. How does this keep happening? Okay. Hey, there I am. All right. So I'm going to share that Dreamline worksheet thing with you guys, and it helped me. It helped me so much because it breaks it down. It chunks it down into time increments of like a week, a month, 6 months, a year. So you've got that clarity about this is when this could possibly happen, because it needs to be right on the edge of impossible. All the things that you put on the dream line, they need to be dreams. They really need to be dreams. Just ridiculous dreams like, oh wow, it would be cool if I had a... I'll share some of those dreams with you. I haven't looked at it in a couple of weeks, but I know one of them was, it would be so cool if I had a team of 30 people helping me with all these different things, with the cars, with the Airbnb, the vacation rentals, with videographer. I had like a list of all these people, social marketing, so like, what is it? Social media marketing person. All these amazing people. I'm gonna go this way. This looks better. So yeah, all these people in my life, and they're starting to come, you know, like not as employees, but just as people who are able to help me learn this stuff. And yeah, I'm doing a lot of it on my own, and that's okay. You got to start doing that before you can afford to hire people for things like this. But my team is coming together. It's pretty neat. And what else did I put on my dream line? Yeah, I put like having 3 Teslas on there, and then the whole thing with Robert and everything else, it just kind of fell together just the right way, and we were able to do a lot more than that. And now opening up the Magic Mansion, with which I didn't even imagine could be a thing. I was so focused on so much else, and then it just all started to happen right there for me. So that's cool. Oh, we're still on number 6. We haven't even covered that yet, so I will have to look at that one more time. It is replacing unhealthy habits. Yes, there we go. So replacing unhealthy habits with healthy ones. We do so much to ourselves that is just ruining everything. We're putting so many toxins in our body. We don't need sugar. Sugar isn't on the nutritional plate or food pyramid or whatever you use to judge what you eat. It's not a thing. It's just bad. Sugar is bad. Alcohol, that's bad too. What is going on? Why is it dropping? Anyways, so yeah, sugar, alcohol, meat. We don't need meat to eat. You don't need to have that for protein or B12 or anything. Anything that you possibly get from meat is just a byproduct. Any animal-based foods, anything, any nutritional value you get from that is just a byproduct of the fruits and vegetables that those animals ate. So you might as well just go straight to the source and get that stuff in your body that way. So yeah, B12, that comes from the ground. So just don't wash your vegetables as much. Buy organic, and that's okay. If something drops on the ground, just eat it. You'll get more B12 in your life. Yeah, so replacing unhealthy habits, and this includes like smoking. Yeah, that's been obvious that's been not at all good for you. You're inhaling something into your lungs that isn't pure air, so don't do that, silly. What are you thinking? So replacing all these unhealthy habits with healthy ones. And we have a lot of unhealthy habits, like mental habits as well. We talk down on ourselves sometimes, and we need to just get in the habit of saying good things and going from there. So that's number 6. Number 7 is rituals. So morning rituals are, wow. Okay, so this is the one thing I got from Tim Ferriss that was the best thing I got from Tim Ferriss. So the 4-hour work week had a lot of good stuff, but then I read the 4-hour body, I read the 4-hour chef. Those are great. But then it was in his Tribe of Mentors book that he talked about habits. So we've got these morning rituals that he got from all these successful people all over the world. He accumulated them, developed, put it all together, figured out what those habits were that helps them get to where they were trying to be. So I picked out my favorites, and I do them every day, and it just primes my day. And Tony Robbins has his like 15 minutes of, I don't know, 30 minutes to thrive, hour of power, those morning rituals, which are great as well. I learned a lot from that too. I think I'm going to sit down for a second. But there we go. Yeah, so those are great as well. But oh shoot, no. All right, there we go. Yeah, it's bad lighting. Anyways, so yeah, just getting clear about those morning rituals. So for mine, I wake up every morning, and the first thing that I do is drink a nice tall glass of water, 16 ounces of water, get that in me, do 10 reps of anything. Now, it's not a workout. You're just literally getting your body primed, getting that blood flowing, and just start moving around. And that's what that's about. And then from there, okay, I changed it up recently, and this has been the best change for me. Instead of starting with that immediate moving, I'll stay in bed for just about a minute or two, and I'll meditate. So I've been using Alexa, but it's pretty much been the same meditation where you just breathe in, hold it for 8 seconds, spend another 8 seconds to let it out, and just keep on doing that. And then do that for about a minute, and then after that, get clear about, just visualize your day. How do you want your day to look? So from start to end, just get clear about going through the motions and going through those tasks that you need to accomplish. Go through how, you've got your calendar that you've looked at the day before. You've probably, if you do the nightly ritual, then you'll have written down those 3 tasks that you've planned on doing that day, and that's going to set you up, because your subconscious works on that during the night, and then you're able to visualize how you're going to go about accomplishing those tasks. So we'll get to the nightly ritual soon, but as for the daily rituals, so that's how I start now, is with that meditation process, which totally just gets you in that right feeling. And then from there, you do the water and the 10 reps of anything, and then hop in the shower and take an ice cold shower. It needs to be like as cold as it can get. Just turn it all the way to the right and then pull it, and you will just feel amazing. It feels like 10 cups of coffee in one couple minute thing. So it's an incredible feeling, and do that and you'll feel good. What else? I'm missing a couple things. Oh yeah, definitely work out in the morning. So get an actual workout in. You do your cold shower, and that's not the same as the hot shower. No, the hot shower is a reward for your exercise. So yeah, get that exercise in, and then you earn that hot shower. But the cold shower, no, that's instead of coffee, you're doing a cold shower. So that's what that's about. The 5-minute journal. So last thing. So all this takes at most 15 minutes, but to start with, it'll take about 30 minutes because you're not used to the process and you're kind of going through it. But the 5-minute journal. So it's a 5-minute journal, and you start every morning asking yourself a couple questions about gratitude, which should, that sun is bright, which should help clear things up about what you're grateful for, who you're grateful for. Like, write down one person, just one person that's on your mind and you're grateful for them. Write down that, what you're grateful for, a physical thing. Look around your room, look around whatever, and pick, okay, that computer helps me do what I need to get done. So be grateful for that. And then, so write down a few things that you're grateful for. Here, I'm just going to pull up that, I'm going to share a little bit. You're going to have a little inside information here about what I do with that. So let's just go to a random date. Okay, I am grateful for my relationship with Mom and Sarah. Okay, cool. I wrote 2. I just told you one person and no more, but yeah, I cheated. Okay, so my relationship with Mom and Sarah, my sister and my mom, because we were working on this crazy project, the Grateful Way, and made this amazing video. It was really cool. The opportunity to help people, and hopefully that's what I'm doing right now, so that's cool. Having an abundance of income. Okay, cool, because that gives, so write down, I'm grateful for my relationship with, the opportunity to, and having blank. And then you fill in the blanks and call it good from there. And then, so it's really just 3 sets of 3 questions. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Yep. So the second thing is, what would make today great? So if I were to organize my space, okay, because my room was all messed up and dirty and everything. And if I could enjoy the party in Fort Myers, that was that day that I did not actually make it down. I was feeling weird and like not social and bad and all sorts of different ways. And yep, so I did not actually make it there. But that's what I wrote down, was if I could enjoy the party in Fort Myers, and if I had time to enjoy an audiobook, because I was planning on driving for like 6 hours that day. So I thought, why not listen to an audiobook? But basically, okay, so I'll just lay it out for you. I'm grateful for my relationship with, the opportunity to, having abundance of, and then the next set of 3, what would make today great? If I were to, if I could, if I had time to, or just if I had blank. Then the last thing is daily affirmations. I am blank, blank, blank. A blank. A blank and a blank. So I am a liver of life, a bringer of joy, and a creator of good. That's what I wrote down that day. And they need to be different every day, because if you're just saying the same stuff all the time, then that's not going to be good. Yeah, just be creative there. So that takes, it says 5-minute journal. That takes about 2 minutes in the morning and about 3 minutes at night. So that's what you do there. Oh, and speaking of night stuff, so that is that. I'm going to open up my fullest potential right now and share what we've got with that. Okay, recent. Oh, it's gone. That's weird. Okay, the nightly rituals. Yeah, no, I do want to do that, so I'm just going to search my fullest potential. 2019. Okay, so I hope I covered all of the correct daily rituals, but we're going to take a look at that. So cold shower, smile. Oh yeah, smile and make your bed. So those are 2 things I forgot for the morning rituals. Got to do that. Drink the water, and FMJ, 5-minute journal. So those are those things. Nightly ritual, so stretch. I recommend those over-the-door pull-up bar hanger things. They cost $15 or $20, and they are incredible. You can do pull-ups on them, you can do push-ups on them, you can do dips, tricep dips, a lot of different exercises, but also you can just hang there. And at night, that's a great thing to do. I watched that from that one dude who teaches workout stuff on YouTube. He's a real cool guy. I forgot. He just looks like a really cool guy. And he is a really cool guy. And I'm totally blanking on his name, but I'll link him if I remember. So stretch. Just lay out, just hang on it and stretch for about 5, 10, 20 seconds. Just let the spine decompress. Then write the 5-minute journal, which is, let's go back to that. 5-minute journal at night it's just 5 questions at night. Wow, okay, cool. So you did your daily affirmations during the day, and then at night you are doing what have I learned today, which, yeah, there should be something that you learned that day. What have I enjoyed today? What have I improved or contributed today? How could I have made today better? What ideas did I come up with? So I added that last one. I forgot where I got this 5-minute journal from. I think it was Tim Ferriss. But what ideas did I come up with? Because that's who I am. I like to create things. And if I'm not writing it down, then I'm forgetting it. And then months go by and I'm like, oh, I already thought of this. Why didn't I freaking write it down? Because you got to write stuff down. So what have I learned? What have I enjoyed? What have I improved or contributed? And how could I have made today better? So that's what you're writing down for the 5-minute journal. But then there's a couple other things that we're doing with the nightly ritual. So read fiction is something that I haven't done at all in the past couple of years, and I don't know why I wrote that on there. I thought that would be a good thing to end my day with, to wind down, but really I like non-fiction stuff. Write tomorrow's 3 tasks. Okay, so get clear about those 3 things that if that's all you got done tomorrow, it would still be a successful day. So 3 tasks that if that's literally everything that you got done, you're still going to be like, wow, that was a well-used day. So write those down, and then drink 16 ounces of water again. And then stare at your vision board for a little bit right before you fall asleep. So visualize your goals and your dreams, and those things that you want to get done. So that is all the rituals, which is number 7. We're not even at number 8 yet. This is crazy. Okay, cool. So here we are getting into number 8, the 80-20 principle. So this has been around for a while. A lot of people have talked a lot about this, and it is true. It is so real. And when I first heard about it, I was like, no, that's bullshit. There's no way 20% of the people do 80% of the work. It's not like that. This world isn't that way. And that it is true, and that's how wealth is distributed, and it's often not even 80-20. Sometimes it's 90-10, sometimes it's 99.999.001 distribution, and it's crazy. So but it's always at least 80-20, and because of this, that gives you a reason to identify those things, those 20% of the things that you're doing that are bringing you those 80% of the results. So getting clear about that will help you tremendously. You'll be able to figure out how to best spend your time, and know that when you're spending your time on the other 80%, that's not getting you to where you need to be. That's not taking you any further there. So once you're clear about that, then you can either eliminate those from your life or not consider those productive hours, and just realize that you're using that time to just relax and recoup and feel better about yourself. So 80-20 principle, huge. And it works. It's not just productivity. It's not just time. It's people as well. So you have people in your life. I'm gonna go this way. You have people in your life who are sucking the energy from you. They are like they might be full of negativity. They might just have their own problems that they're constantly putting on you. But whatever the case is, there's 20% of the people in your life who are taking 80% of that positive energy that you have. You should have an abundance of positive energy to give. You shouldn't be worried about that. But what I'm saying is, okay, how about this? 20% of the people in your life cause 80% of your problems. That is at least that. And 20% of the people in your life are 80% of the negativity. So when you identify those 20%, then you can just spend less time with them. Most of the time, you don't even have to explain why. You can just straight up not hang out with them anymore. You could be like, listen, and if you do need to explain why, great. Just be like, hey, this is where I'm at right now. I am going this direction, and you're not helping me get there. You're actually holding me back a little bit. Just be real with them. Just tell how it is, and they will appreciate you for it eventually. They'll hate you right now, but eventually they'll understand, oh wow, maybe there is something about how I view the world and whatever that needs to be changed. So once they change that, then maybe you can invite them back into your life. But until then, hell no. Leave them out. You don't need that crap in your life. But the flip side of the coin is there are 20% of the people in your life who are giving you 80% or more of the joy and the inspiration and the pushes that you need forward. I saw this video on YouTube. This basketball player, like, I guess missed a shot or something. He was like, ugh. And his buddy just pushed his chest back, pushed up his chin, and like put the smile back on his face and brought him back. So you need people like that, who they'll see you struggling and they'll help you through it and push you forward. So giving those people more time, allowing them to have more of an influence on your life is critical. So yeah, the 80-20 principle applies to people, applies to time spent on tasks and things. What else? It really applies to everything. But self-education, there's probably 20% of the videos that you watch on YouTube produce 80% of those results. So figure out which channels you're following that are producing those results, and then unfollow the other ones. Yeah, it'll just help you eliminate the garbage that you don't really need right there. And from that, so that's number 8. Number 9 is replacing distress with eustress. So the opposite of euphoria is dysphoria. So there's such a thing as eustress. That's a word that I learned recently, And it's kind of cool because, yeah, we need stress in our lives. We are human, and we only grow, we only develop, we only learn if we're going through some sort of stress. So you need good stress that pushes you forward, and you need to eliminate those stressors that hold you back and bring you down and make you feel like crap. So figuring out what parts of your life cause you that negative stress. So for me, I became president of the homeowners association, and at first I thought that would be the best thing for me. I would be able to help so many people. I would be able to do so many great things. No, not at all. It was the only source of negative stress in my life, and I had to get clear about that. I had to be like, you know what, this isn't helping me out. This may be helping them out, but it's hurting me and it's causing me physical pain. So I don't know if you know this, but I donate sperm. That's something that I do for one of my income sources, and also because I want to have a lot of babies all over the world. But whatever. As I was donating, they would check every week, the check, see what was going on. And if you are ever dealing with any stress, or if you have any sort of infection or sickness or anything like that, then it is garbage, and they throw it out, and they don't even give you the money for it. So my sperm was dying because of the stress that was in my life. I was unable to donate the entire time I was president of the HOA. Every time I donated, and I went often, every time I donated, they turned it down because it was just bad stuff. So as soon as I stopped becoming president, then all that stress went away, and then I could donate again. So that was my canary in the cave or whatever test about stress. So I had that to really get clear scientifically about what was causing me these problems. But really, you should be able to tell it yourself. Just stress causes a lot of different physical symptoms, and emotionally you'll be down and depressed and stuff. So just pay attention and figure out what are those things that are causing you stress, and get rid of that from your life. You don't need it. You don't need that stuff. Number 9. So we just talked about, no, that was number 9. Number 10 is replacing negative people with positive people. So this is very similar to what we were just talking about, but it comes to, and we already covered this in the 80-20 principle. There's 20% of the people that are causing 80% of the negativity. So yeah, it's a tough thing. This is the hardest thing to do. It was the hardest thing for me, because you love them, you care about them. Sometimes they're in your family. Sometimes they're the people that you see more than anyone else. And then you've got that, sometimes they're your significant other that you've been in love with for a long time, but they're doing nothing but holding you back from the person that you need to become. And that's tough. That's the hardest thing. Whenever and you do love them, and you want the best for them, and you don't want to hurt them, but it would be hurting them more. Maybe this might not be what you need to hear right now. It's probably not the case for you, but if it is, and if you're feeling that, and if you know this, then it's hurting them a lot more to hold on to them and keep that feeling going, knowing fully in your head that it's not okay, that they're not the right fit for you, and they're actually causing more harm than good. So getting clear about that is essential, and for them more than for you. So you want them to have their best life, right? So don't just hold them back. Here, I'm going to go in this chemistry place. Seems quieter. Don't hold them back by stringing them on for years and years, and then sometimes I've seen some people start to make a bunch of babies with these people who it's obvious that they're no good for, and then they'll get divorced years later and be like, Stefan, what the hell happened? Be like, well, you saw those same signs that everyone else saw. You were there just as much as we were. What are you talking about? You knew what you needed to do, and then you got her pregnant. What the hell, man? Yep. So figuring out replacing negative people with positive people, replacing the right people with the wrong people. The other way around, replacing the wrong people with the right people in your life. So that's number 10. Number 11 and 12 are pretty quick ones, so I'll kind of go over this pretty fast. I don't know why this camera keeps dropping. It's so weird. Yeah, so number 11 is delegate. Oh, yes. Delegation is your best friend. So once you get to this high achieving you and you're able to do so much and have a lot going on, a busy life is a good life, don't get me wrong. You want to stay busy, but you don't want to stay busy doing that stupid stuff that doesn't matter at all, that's not advancing your perfect future, yourself, that you're trying to create. So in my case, I was running a lot of 3 different condos, and I was cleaning all of them. I was cleaning the bathrooms, the kitchens, changing the sheets, all that stuff. I did all of that for all of them because I was like, if I can do something, I should do something. And really, no. If what you're doing could be replaced by someone else who can do that isn't you, and that could give you that time back in your life, because you only have so many hours in the day. So if you can find the right person to take that task so that you can have your time life back, your time back, then do it. Yeah, and value your time. Figure out how much your time is worth, and say it's worth $20 an hour. Let's just go with that. If you can find someone to do something for $19 an hour that is effectively the same result, but you're now able to use that time for something else more valuable, then freaking go for it. But if you're gonna play video games with that hour, then obviously the answer is no. Keep on doing that thing, because you need to be able to use your time in an effective way. And it's not all about money. That's kind of to numerically break it down. But yeah, you do need your time for a lot of other things, for your other priorities that we were talking about earlier, with your family, with your health. Yeah, you gotta figure out what matters, your significance, what you want to contribute back to the world, and use that time for those things. It doesn't always have to be financial gain. Obviously, that would be a bleak existence, and I wouldn't wish that on anyone. But you need to get clear about what are those tasks that you're doing that you don't even enjoy, that someone else could do for you, and then you'd have more time. So get clear about that. And for my case, yeah, I found Joyce, who she's able to she's cleaning those condos right now, and I'm here doing what I want to do. This is something that I love and that I've been excited about for a while, and I'm only able to do this because I can trust that she's handling things over there for me. And yeah, finding a good team, but also delegating some things, that is key. So that's number 11. Number 12 is the last thing we're going to talk about, and that is the generation of passive wealth. And by passive wealth, I mean wealth. I mean enough money where you feel no obligation to work for another person and trade your time for money ever again. That means that you're able to know that just your existence, if you were to go to prison right now and come out in 2 years, you'd be richer. You'd have more money. That's what I'm talking about. So once you start to figure out passive wealth, then the whole world will change for you. So why does this camera keep dropping? I don't know. I'm just gonna recalibrate this. How do you recalibrate? That's fine. I think it's okay. Okay, so for my case, I'm sure you're gonna find a different thing that gets you going. But for me, Airbnb changed everything. So I had that condo, I put it on Airbnb, and I was like, wow, I could make a living doing this, because I was working, like I said earlier, I was working paycheck to paycheck, doing sometimes 15, 18 magic shows a week, 1 hour magic shows. I was grinding hard. I was going as hard as I could, and I would do extra things on the weekends as well. I would do magic shows, like birthday parties, corporate events, weddings, things like that. So it's just a constant grind, and I was constantly trading time for money. And then Airbnb happened, which changed my world, because I got this condo and I did not know what to do. I knew I didn't want to pay rent anymore. That's all I wanted. I didn't even care about making money. I just wanted to get to the point where I was not paying, just throwing my money away every month. So I got to that point by the house I was living in had a bunch of roommates, and we were all paying a certain amount, and 2 of them were cool. And I was like, hey, if I get a condo, will you guys move in with me? And they're like, heck yeah, we will. They moved in, and it was incredible. We had a good time. It was cool. And they were paying rent, which meant that I didn't pay. Their rent covered the whole mortgage and the utilities and everything else, so I was free and clear. And then one of them had some trouble paying the rent because he was an Uber driver, and I built this projector screen. It was a 150-inch projector screen, huge thing. And he just stopped paying the rent. So I was like, what the hell do I do? So I posted my sofa on Airbnb, just a sofa, and that one sofa paid the entire mortgage. And that's when I was like, all right, there is something to this. Cool. So I posted another sofa, and then both the bedrooms when those 2 roommates moved out. And that like kind of leapfrogged me into this whole passive wealth generation thing, which is something I should have been focused on long before. I don't know why it took me that long to realize the value of passive wealth generation. But from there, that was great. I was making that money, and I was able to work less magic shows and spend the time thinking more about what else I could do. And at the time, I had broken up with my ex, and then I bought her car from her because she wasn't using it, and just to make things easier, I bought the car. So I had two cars, one extra car, and I posted one of those on Turo, and then all of a sudden that was $500 a month of passive wealth generation. And because I paid, I don't know, $3,500 for the car, 7 months later it had paid for itself, and then every month after that, that was another $500 a month, which is like $6,000 a year, which is all I needed to live. I knew $4,000 to $6,000 was what I needed to survive, as far as rent and food and everything. So because of that, I was like, wow, just that one car was all I needed. So I got another one. My sister, sorry about that, there we go. One of my sisters tried to sell her car to get a new car, so it was the trade-in value they offered her was really, really low. And I was like, you know what, I'll pay it. So I paid the super cheap trade-in value, got another car, that rented well, got my other sister's car, that rented well. I ended up getting six Ice Age cars, I call them. They're internal combustion engine cars. And then that's when I decided to get the first Tesla. And Tesla Model 3, I put the deposit in for that, and that was cool. It rented 21 days out of 30 that first month. It needed to rent 6 days to pay the loan payment. So because it did so well, I bought another one, and I tried to buy another one. The loan officer freaked out, and he's like, Stefan, what the hell are you doing? You're not making any money. You're showing like a $12 annual income on your last tax return. What is wrong with you? And I was like, no, I just keep investing back into the business. It's okay. It'll be fine. I'll pay it off. And he didn't believe me, and he's like, you're not getting that car, you're not getting the second car, this is ridiculous, I don't even know how you got the first car. And then I got a call from Tesla, and they said, all right, your Model S is ready to be picked up. I just went over there really fast, got an Uber over there, and drove it off the lot, and it was great. And then they wouldn't let me get the Model X, but so all of a sudden I had a Model 3 and a Model S, and both of those were renting really well, doing pretty good. And then the loan officer, I was like, okay, after the next tax time, you'll see that I am making this money, everything's good. So I waited till that happened, and then I put in to get the Model, the X right there. And then I posted on Facebook. I was like, oh, trifecta complete. I don't like to, show off or brag about those things too much, but I thought it just felt good. I just felt really good about it. I'm maybe humble to a fault sometimes. I feel really weird about posting just about anything because I don't want people to misinterpret my success as their failure, which is a silly thing that I need to stop. I need to just change my perception about right there. But anyways, so yeah, I posted that, and then Robert, my friend Robert, he messaged me. He's like, what will it take for me to become part of this business? And I crunched the numbers, sent him how much it would cost, and he came back with a different offer. He was like, okay, instead of that, how about I just buy two more Teslas and then give you the cash for the difference that it costs. And I was like, okay, that sounds good. So next thing you know, we have a fleet of 5 Teslas together, and then I have my other 5-6 cars renting pretty well, and then we have this amazing business. And then now with the Magic Mansion, we've got a place to create magic and art and technology, and every week we're going to be bringing all these artists and magicians and engineers together to create stuff, and they're going to pay for their week-long stay, and we're going to build a business. And if it's successful, we'll create a business and start selling products, and we'll appoint people different positions in that business, and it'll be great. So I've already got a lot of people interested in building the first autonomous electric helicopter, and basically they will all put in $30,000, and we'll use that money to buy the sheet metal and the Tesla batteries and the electric motors and everything that we need, and then that business will have that funding to back it, and we'll pay the LLC some of that as for being the host, but we won't charge a crazy amount. And yeah, so we're just going to create something amazing with that. We're going to do that with magicians, so I've already been reaching out to a few, a little bit too early because I didn't have that side of the thing figured out yet, and I need to kind of understand how I'm going to reach out and promote and do more with that. But yeah, magicians, artists, I already got I've got 4 artists in mind and about 7 magicians in mind right now that are definitely going to be great for it. I've reached out to 3 of them, so yeah, it's and everyone said yes. I was expecting a lot of rejection, I guess, because this is a new thing and it's all kind of exciting and new and not understood yet, but a lot of people are on board, so it's coming together. It's pretty cool. Oh, you know what I should do? Because I keep looking down instead of at you, so I should I should flip it around and hold it that way. Okay, cool. So I'm not tempted to look down. Yep, so that's pretty much number 12. That's the last one, is the generation of passive wealth. Better late than never, right? With the eye contact. Sorry about that, guys. Yep, so that is your fullest potential in a nutshell. That's kind of everything that I wanted to talk about there. And I'm going to end this video now, and I think that's everything. Oh yeah, the spreadsheet. So I'm going to share that spreadsheet with you. I'm going to share that. Okay, so the morning ritual, I'm redoing that whole morning ritual. It's going to be the same steps, but I'm making audio thing, and I'll do it for the nightly ritual too. But I'm using royalty-free audio, like a nice techno type thing that you can do some push-ups to. So I'm doing that, and I'm doing a voiceover for that. So I'm going to talk you through your mornings and help you wake up and get started with your day and kind of guide you through it. And I'm just going to do 1 to start with, and then I'm going to do 7 of them, 1 for every day of the week, and mix up some things. Because wouldn't it be cool to have like every one of your mentors' morning rituals all together? But you don't have to do it every day. You kind of, every Monday you do the same thing, every Tuesday you do the same thing. So that's what I want to do, because there's a lot of morning rituals that I would like to establish as part of mine, but I just don't have the time for it. So I'm going to do that so that I will have the time for it. And I'll do the same thing with nightly rituals as well. Obviously there will be some that just happen every night, like the 5-minute journal and drinking the water. But some of the other stuff we could mix and match and have some fun with. So I'll share that with you as well. I'll share that spreadsheet. I'll share whatever I can. So, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and I will answer them and help you out with whatever you need. So, guys, it's been my pleasure. See you later.